climb the mast twice during the last Vendée Globe race. The first time was actually only about 10 days into the race, and it was a halfway up climb. And then the second one was the most terrifying. I had to go all the way up to the top of the mast to replace the wind instruments. The wind instruments had broken in the Southern Ocean. So my first set of wind instruments broke the first week out, and I was on my spares, and then my spares broke on exiting the Southern Ocean, and I just had to make do for the last 1,000 miles without wind data, because it was too rough and too dangerous to climb the mast. So when I got into the Atlantic, there was an opportunity to replace the cups on the wind instruments that spin around and tell you how fast the wind's going. And I mean, strictly, I could have finished the race without doing it, but it was really difficult to gauge how strong the wind was, what direction it was coming from, and the autopilot couldn't steer to a wind direction. So my performance was really affected. And also I was getting more and more tired because I was having to think more and rely on kind of manual effort to keep the boat going. It's terrifying. It's absolutely terrifying. I just hate climbing the mast at sea on my own. And I remember the perfect day came up, and I just knew this was going to be my opportunity, and I needed to step up to it. But it took me 2 hours of self-talk to even clip onto the rope to get up in the first place. I was really terrified. And I kind of had to go through each reason for being scared individually and kind of talk to myself about why I shouldn't be scared. You know, I had to reassure myself that I'd done the training, I'd done it before, that the autopilot was working fine, that the weather was absolutely perfect, that I had the skills. And I kind of gave myself permission to chicken out halfway up. And 2 hours of just kind of going through and actually talking to myself out loud about why it was okay to do it. And ultimately, you know, I think I knew that if I hadn't changed those wind instruments, then I hadn't been the Vendée skipper that I wanted to be. You know, it was about stepping up and being the solution to my problems and performing at the highest level I could. And given the fact that I had ideal conditions to climb the mast, if I backed away from it, I just felt I would be letting myself down. So eventually I did kind of talk myself around to doing it, and the whole thing only took about 45 minutes, but oh my word, I was so scared at the top. Unbelievably scared, and I really don't ever want to do that again.